Welcome to Leading Up, where we talk about everything leadership. Leadership has changed drastically in the recent years, and we are here to talk about the most recent leadership trends. We are here to move the needle together. This is Leading Up. So I talked to a lot of leaders across all industries about how they deal with the new leadership trends and what they think the new leadership trends are. I joined forces with three leaders that I absolutely admire: Shavit, Tony, and Ria. These are wonderful leaders, and it was so great to put our minds together and brainstorm and talk about current leadership trends. In this piece that I'll share with you, we talked about the new generation that is coming into the workforce and what this means for us as leaders when it comes to leading with purpose, how important it is to the new generation. Watch this clip from our discussion.
As we have a generation of leaders coming out, we have a new generation of leaders coming in, and they were brought up in a much more digitally enabled world than some of us were. And so that means the communication is different. That means the interactions are different. That means that the responsiveness level is different. And I think all of us need to understand the generational differences in communication, in technology, and be able to incorporate that into the way in which we work. Because I think we just have to remember that we're in this is a big shift. I think the world will never be, the world we know will never go back to the way it was before. And so if we don't adjust, we will be left behind. And so we've got to think about what are those key areas that we need to think about, how we adjust the way we work and how we adjust our mindset.
100%. And I just want to add one more thing to that I found to be very helpful also is purpose. Because there's something about the workplace that goes beyond the role, and especially for the younger generation, as we shift in generations, it really is a process of what am I becoming here, and when the what am I becoming here is very clear and the process is a process of growth that the individual feels, I feel that it extends beyond, the day to day, it's hard here, it's hard there. And it extends well beyond what do I get paid here or what is my position here. If it is a process of becoming, then in a way we can, look through those lenses also at the leaders. If we need to up our skills and up our game, then what are we becoming here? We're becoming better people. If the workforce, if the employees are becoming something that is far greater than what they were when they joined us, then I feel that it gives all of us just more resilience and more a better glue in our connection together. It's almost like a judo move, if people look for purpose and they look for something that is greater than their job, I guess the question for leaders is, can we provide that in the workplace? Because at the end of the day, there's, yes, you can live on a boat for a while, you can throw everything, but you're saying people are coming back. So if people are coming back, it's not, just quitting and doing something, it lasts for a while. Maybe our job as leaders is to provide that purpose, that growth journey better in the workplace.
We as leaders have to be willing to be flexible to do that. So, I know flexibility can mean so many different things, but if it would be easy to say, oh, well, they're not working as hard because they want to have purpose, or it's really important for them to do outside of work hour things or projects outside. If we aren't going to be nimble and agile to work with them and see that, because that's an assumption that's not necessarily accurate, right? A lot of us grew up in this era that you had to work 100 hours to be doing a good job and progress your career. And that's not to say that this younger group or the people coming back who want more purpose aren't working hard, they're working differently. And so yes. I think we have to adjust
Yes.
what we think that looks like, and what that might be. And honestly, the time I spent at the college opened my eyes to something I never would have had I not had that opportunity. But we're helping change the communities we live in through some of the work we're doing, and that can create purpose, as an example. But we had to change the mindset of spending time and resources from an enterprise into a community partner. And I think we're needing to do more of that and not make assumptions that someone's not working hard because they're not working 100 hours.
Leading in today's world requires new skills from leaders, and whereas in the past just focusing on the matrix was enough, matrix alone will not do it these days. Leaders need soft skills, and soft skills matter a lot. Leaders need to work on their emotional intelligence, on their EQ. We talked about that at the LinkedIn Live with my colleagues Ria, Shavit, and Tony, and we had a very interesting discussion. Watch this. What strategies have you seen that help those leaders that were really struggling with their EQ?
So the good news is that EQ can be developed over time. And so I'll start with that. Doesn't mean we always do it well, but the good news is that as you get older, you build hopefully you build your EQ and it gets better over time. One of the things that we've done is we went from just looking is creating some accountability for the behaviors that feed into EQ, and then creating some programs and having dialogue and talking about it and finding the best people in the organization that lead by example. So I'll break it down. So things like really also having competencies that look at the how and really set expectations for how leaders should behave and what does it mean to listen? What does it mean to be authentic? What does it mean to be self-aware? What does it mean to, be composed and manage your stress and tension in a composed way when you're with yourself and with others? So we've incorporated those elements into our core behavior success model. And we did it, by the way, not just for leaders, but for the entire organization. So there are those aspects, the how aspects that are for everyone, and then there are specific ones that are for leaders. That's one of the things. So I'll give an example. In one of the functions that I was supporting, we every month or every other month when we had kind of a town hall, we would showcase one of those behaviors, and we would break it down and find 2 or 3 people who were exemplars in that, and we would talk to them about what they do and how they implement it and what examples they have. Because it's one thing to sit in a classroom and understand EQ and go through the model. That doesn't help anybody really develop EQ. Developing a sense of self-awareness and learning how to self-monitor, that takes years of work and years of reflection and the ability to create space for that to happen. But by showcasing leaders who have done it really well and hearing their journey, hearing what they've tried, where they failed, where they've succeeded, that example is a beacon really. Helps people have some real tangible examples. And then we challenge them, right? We challenge them to think about it. We try to create forums where we have dialogue. We have a forum called Moody's Moments That Matter, and we have brought in speakers that talk about EQ and that share examples, and we have other leaders that share that, and we just try to create a community of practice around it without necessarily saying, welcome to EQ 101. And just really, thinking about what are the elements of EQ we want to infuse into our culture, into our programs, and into our processes.
I'm getting so many questions about leading in today's world and the skills that it requires from leaders and how to actually adapt, how to make sure that you're on point with the new leadership trends. I want to share 2 of those questions with you. So I'm getting a question here, and it says, how do I bridge the generational gap with my team and at my home? I love that, because the generational gap is just there. And it's important to learn about the new generation, both millennials and Gen Z, and figure out how we can work together. It's interesting because the same principles apply in every one of our relationships. And it's that importance of mutual respect, of listening to each other, of enjoying the good that there is in each other. The younger generation does not want a boss. They want a coach. They want someone that will teach them and show them the way of how to live life. There's a huge need in today's world for the younger generation for guidance. If you take it upon yourself to be a coach, You're going to have a whole group of people that will support you, and also you'll be able to enjoy the benefits that they bring to the table, such as technological skills and just a fresh perspective. In every relationship between human beings, we need to have that mutual respect for our differences. And those differences can be differences of race, of gender, of political views, and of generations. Let's have that respect, because there is so much that we have in each other that we can just enjoy and benefit from. I got this great question here, and I get this question all the time. It says, how do I have patience for people in my team and in my life that just drive me nuts? And that's a great question, because a lot of times we lose our patience with the people that we need the most, or with the people that are the closest to us, the people we care about the most. When you lose your patience with someone, like let's say they talk to you and you're on your phone at the same time because you just don't have the patience, or they try to communicate something to you and that you just cut them off because you're in a rush and you don't have the patience to listen, or when they talk to you and you go, yeah, but you have no idea what they're saying. You basically communicate to them non-verbally, listen, you don't matter to me so much, so I don't really have the patience to hear everything you have to say. So can we just finish this, because I'm too busy to actually have patience to you. And then you ask yourself as a leader, why are people not motivated? Why do we have a problem with retention? Why do we have a problem with motivation? Why are different people just not nice to me? Make the time to have the mental budget to actually be patient with someone, to actually listen, to put your phone away, not to cut them off, to really listen. And if you can't do it on a given time because you're super busy, you can tell them, hey, listen, I really want to listen to you. I have to finish this thing right now. Can we talk at 4? And at 4, make sure to make the time to actually be present and listen. Not only that you'll gain very valuable information, but you'll also make a very important connection. Leadership is a process of becoming. Become the kind of person who is connected to other people, who has patience with other people, who knows how to lead with the soft skills that are required from leaders these days, leading with purpose, leading with patience, knowing how to listen, knowing how to be a coach. You got this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to keep up with all the new videos. Also, click on the link to watch another video.